So, Michelle, we actually had Carolina in here earlier.
Oh, did you?
And she said that
joking.
you're one of her heroes.
Oh, yeah.
She was gushing about you,
Yeah.
actually. Did you know that she respects you in that way?
You know, it's really cool to see it all come full circle because I remember watching her do her debut at Invicta when I was the atomweight champion, and thinking, man, this girl's gonna be something awesome. And so it's really cool to be able to be here and say that we're going to give each other a part of ourselves inside the octagon, and really that's what you ask for. You ask for a great competitor in somebody to step inside the octagon and to know what you're getting ready to get into and to give it your all.
She was saying actually that she really didn't want to hurt you, but she knew that she had to because it was her job. Is that ever something you've dealt with where you're like, I really like this person, I'd really rather not hit them, and there's just a switch you have to flick?
Yeah, as a fighter, there are always those things that you have to battle. But how I've come to terms with it is that if I don't go in there and give it my 100%, then I'm doing not only myself a disservice, but my opponent.
And perhaps most importantly, she actually tried to buy some cookies from your
Oh,
daughter,
did she?
but the website wouldn't work in Poland.
Oh, man.
She was
I wish I
devastated.
would have known that. I should have brought some cookies for her.
She wouldn't say how many, but she did say, she's like, I tried, and they wouldn't
What
let
a sweetheart.
Is that a bit of an advantage for you though? Like, her seems like she has so much respect for you. You've clearly gone through this already, as you just said. Like, it seems like she's having a bit of an internal struggle here. She says the flip switches for her when she's in the cage, but it seems like she's kind of having that battle a little bit. Does that play into your favor, perhaps?
Any advantage that you could get, you want to take. So if that plays into it, cool. If not, we're prepared for the best Carolina that steps into the octagon on Saturday.
Where do you see her strengths? Because yesterday at the open workout, for instance, she had crazy hand speed. Is that something you prepared for, or do you see just...
I feel like Carolina is one of the more well-rounded girls in the top 10 of the division. Her ground game is overlooked. She's the things that stand out to me about Carolina are her pressure, her clinch, her elbows and knees, and just her sheer heart and will.
She's a former title challenger. I mean, obviously coming off a tough loss, but she's been up there with some of the best. I mean, if you do come out victorious, you're on a nice little run. I mean, do you see yourself kind of in striking distance of the title now?
100%. That this is what I'm here for. I'm here to fight for the belt, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to fight Carolina, is because she's fought everybody who's anybody at the top. Like you said, she was a contender, and she went all 5 rounds with Joanna. So I believe winning on Saturday will get me in line for the belt.
Are you gonna go to Brazil for the fight and maybe try to do your thing down there?
When is that?
May 11th.
I would love to go to Brazil. Try the food, enjoy the scenery, watch the fights. But I don't know. We'll play it by ear.
How big is that for the strawweight division? I mean, this is the first time they're headlining a pay-per-view card.
It shouldn't be the first time. The strawweight division, in my opinion, is the most stacked division in the female roster. And I don't say that lightly.
Do you think there's a reason for that? Because, I mean, there are some big stars at strawweight. We had Joanna, who was a dominant champion, yet she never headlined a pay-per-view.
I don't know. She should have. Her and Rose should have definitely headlined their fight, the first one and the second one. It'll happen.
Not to provoke you to talk shit or anything, but so now you see like Holly Holm, who's 5-4 in her last fights, and she's getting a title shot. Do you think that's proof that your division is much more stacked than bantamweight and obviously featherweight?
Well, Holly's a different story to begin with. Even though you say you speak to her record, you don't bring up who she's fought, and all of those fights were contender fights for belts and stuff like that. And so, but it is different. The girls, I feel, in the 115 division have been built up. They have really good, stable records. They're very well-rounded, and all the girls are hungry. And so, iron sharpens iron. Every time one girl goes in there and they get better, all the rest of the girls they see, and then they get better, and it just makes the entire division that much better.
It seems like this could be, the start of a very good run for the team. We have Holly and John fighting on the same card in the summer. You win here, maybe you fight for the belt late summer too. How much momentum do you feel like on the team right now?
Momentum is tremendous. Just being out in Vegas when John won his last fight and Diego with his spectacular performance, it's amazing what that momentum can do to a person's spirit, to feel their energy, to just be around them, to kind of rub elbows with like-minded champions, and it's a good feeling to have.
What happens when it's on the opposite end of that spectrum? Because every gym goes through its highs and lows and everything. I know there was some controversy with the team kind of late last year. Does the negative side carry over on that as well, or do you kind of compartmentalize and push that away?
You know what? I feel like there's something to be gained in both situations. Anytime there are challenges, bumps in the road, adversities, you band together and you hunker down and you lean on each other for support and build each other back up, and those are crucial moments in any team, just as crucial as the victorious moments. And so I think that all these, the highs and the lows, they're important. They're the seasons of life.
How nervous were you after the illegal knee landed on Anthony Smith?
Oh my gosh, I just was confused. I was like, was that legal? Was that illegal? Because sometimes John does like really creative stuff that it's like almost borderline. Is that legal? But it is. And so I was super nervous. But Anthony's a stand-up guy, and he I don't think it would have sat well in his conscience to take the decision to get DQ'd. Yeah.
We were just talking actually about the different rule sets. It seems like you can drive an hour to the left and it's a different rule set. Does that even play on your mind when you go in there, or do you have to just ignore that stuff?
There's not much that really plays in your mind when you go out there. You go out there and all the work's said and done, and you kind of just pop it into autopilot and you go, because that's how you are able to really get in the zone and do your thing.
We talked about the bantamweight division and the strawweight division. You used to fight at atomweight.
Yes.
And a lot of atomweight fighters that I've spoken to said they feel like the time is coming that they're going to be in the UFC. Do you feel that the division has the talent to be here now?
If there are girls fighting at atomweight, that they should make a division for that in the UFC. If you build it, they will come. Give them a place to shine, and they will come and they will perform, and they will pour their hearts out just like all the rest of the girls have coming into the UFC. Dana White's seen it, and he's been able to reap the benefits of the passion that all the females bring to the UFC, to the sport of mixed martial arts, and to martial arts in general. There are little girls that train since they're 3-4 years old doing karate, jiu-jitsu, and they want a platform when they grow up. So just give it to them. Do
you don't think Ronda Rousey was proof of that? Like those bantamweights outside the UFC, they made Ronda Rousey come over, and then eventually, like you said, everyone follows, everyone pays attention. It slowly builds the entire thing up, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're there. There's no doubt about it. There are groups of girls that are itching to get into the UFC, and very talented, well-rounded mixed martial artists that deserve to have a stage to showcase their skills.
In addition to your fight, a lot of excitement around the main event for this card with Gaethje and Barboza. I'm sure at least one bonus is going to be off the table after that one.
I don't know how many cards I've been on with Gaethje, and I'm like, this guy, he's always taking everything. He's always taking all the bonuses. But I take it as a good omen, because I have been on so many good cards with Gaethje, and we're both kind of coming up the ranks together, and so it's a good omen for me. I'm happy to be on the card with him, and hopefully this time I'm the one that takes the bonus.
Safe to say you're rooting for him to win then, or do you think Barboza gives him a
You know
tough
what?
fight?
It's going to be an amazing fight, but I'm rooting for Gaethje. Yeah.
And we're in Philly. What's your favorite Rocky movie?
Oh man, jeez. I couldn't. I think they all go together, and I feel like what's so special about all the Rocky movies is that you can relate to them at different points of your life, and Sylvester Stallone is just so amazing at touching your heart, touching your soul, and being able to get those stories across that everyone can relate to. So
I was going to say, it might sound like a little bit silly, but since you become a fighter, do you now look at those movies and go, he got it? Or do you just think, oh, they're a bit cheesy, Hollywood?
I think anytime you watch like old school 80s movies, they're all cheesy. But, we're all cheese balls every now and then, and it's okay. And, it's life is way too short to take everything so seriously. And hey, how many people do you think were motivated to become real fighters because they watched the movie Rocky? It's not like he was ever a real boxer, but how many real boxers did that movie produce is the question,
I know we had a lot of fun with the cookie story this week, but were you ever expecting Dana White to come out and drop 1,000 boxes of cookies?
No way. My daughter was a bit down because we weren't able to take her door to door. We made her sell them at my gym, at all my strength and conditioning. She was hustling. She was going up to everybody and asking them to buy cookies. She went to my husband's work, and she made a pretty steep goal in trying to sell 2,000. And just with our fight schedule and everything, it was going to be hard to do. So I sat down and talked to her. I said, well, what do you think we can do? We already talked to our coaches, and, who else can we talk to? And she's like, well, maybe we can send a video to Dana White. And I was like, that's amazing. That's a great idea. You're utilizing your resources. And so we kind of talked about it. It's like, what's the harm in it? You send it over, he buys 2 boxes of cookies, that's helping your goal. Whatever he does, it's going to be amazing, and it's a good learning experience. And she sent it over, and he absolutely gobbled it up. He loved it. And he sent me a message back. He's like, your daughter's the best. I love her. And he's like, I'm going to buy 100 cookies. And we were blown away by that. We're like, oh, my gosh, Danny, you're the best. What are you going to do with 100 boxes of cookies? And then he texts me, like, a couple hours later. He's like, I changed my mind. I'm going to buy 1,000 boxes of cookies, and I'm sharing it on my Instagram. And I was like, okay. She was so stoked. She was so excited.
He must have just been rewatching the video over and over and like, more and more sold.
Has he said what he's going to do with 1,000 boxes of cookies?
I don't know, but he got the good ones. He split them up. He got Samoas, Thin Mints, Tagalongs, and the s'mores, and he split those up. So I don't know. Maybe he'll give them out as bonuses to the fighters.
After the fight, no one's cutting weight.
How much do those go for a box?
Anywhere between $4.25 and $5.
So Mike trying to work out the math.
Yeah. Dana's a great guy, and I absolutely love his heart, his passion, and he just is. He is a genuine person who cares about his fighters, who sees the bigger picture. He sees us as not only fighters, he sees us as families and as mothers and wives, and that's important.
A lot of people give him crap, MMA fans and stuff. Do gestures like that, maybe make you look at him a little differently?
Oh, I've always admired Dana for doing what he does, and for being in the business as long as he has. You have to put up with a lot of crap in the fight business, and he's done it, and he's done it successfully.
Cool.
Thank you.